This, oh, this is fine. This is fine. I'll tell you how I got that in just a second, but before we jump into the video, two very quick, very exciting updates. I have finally launched my Ko-fi and also a Patreon. So if you want to get some exclusive content or just want to support me because you like what I do, I don't know why you would do that, like, but if you're very, very nice, then you could support me. The links will be down in the description and I would be forever and ever grateful, and it would also enable me to make more and better content. So thank you, especially to those who've already donated and those who will. I will love you forever and I cherish you so much. And oh my god, I'm just gonna start the video. But thank you to everyone, thank you. But you're not here for that, you're here to hear what Druidic magic school is really like. Just a couple of weeks ago, I went to Avalon, which is a LARP. LARP, for those who don't know yet, stands for Live Action Role-Playing Game, and it's kind of what we did as kids, when we pretended to be superheroes, or wizards, like we do now. Same thing, just cooler and bigger and with adults. If you've been on my channel before, you will have heard me talk about College of Wizardry before. And Avalon is part of the College of Wizardry universe. It is a spin-off. And where College of Wizardry is a college, obviously, so it's a secondary education, Avalon comes before that. It is the wizard's primary education. It is one of many schools, but this one in particular is very interesting. There are a few big off-game differences, adding to the very big bunch of in-game differences. The big difference is that on Avalon you don't have a sandbox LARP. Sandbox basically means that you can do anything you want. You can normally request NPCs from the organizers and write your own plot. There's no big overarching plot. For Avalon, there was an overarching plot made by the organizers. You could still do a lot of your own things, but there was also a plot you could participate in, which was very exciting, very scary, and very cool. Very cool. But that's a big difference between the two games. Also, you're not in a massive castle, you're in a forest in Poland, which is cold and also rainy sometimes. We had a very big storm. But those are the big off-game differences. More important or more interesting, I guess, are the in-game differences. So let me tell you a little bit about Avalon. So the school itself is located on a mystical island in the mists of Avalon. It's somewhere around England, no one really knows where. Sometimes it also changes its location, but it is somewhere around England. The location has a few really cool wooden huts, there are some animals running around, there's an actual stone circle and a giant forest on a mountain. It looked amazing and really gave the feel of like a druidic, mystical kind of thing. The school's motto is broken and reborn, and it's fucking accurate. It's so accurate. It was also, before the game, described by the organizers as Lord of the Flies with wands. And that is also very accurate. Though I would say, for me, it had more the feeling of Hunger Games with wands. It was rough. So at Avalon, it's not the teachers that enforce the rules. They will surely punish students here and there, but for the most part, it's the students themselves that enforce these rules. Why can I not speak? So they beat each other up with swords and they duel to the death, and it's very cruel. And where else can you do that than on Avalon? Like, there was so much fighting and trying to kill people and fucking shit up, and It's very harsh. Have I said that before? It is very harsh. And with Czocha, or a school from another fictional universe of the boy who lived, you know that school, where those schools have houses, Avalon has warbands. And if that doesn't say enough, I don't know. The first warband, and certainly the most important of them all because it was my warband, are the Skulls, also known as Sagovacs. Their words are strength and ruthlessness. They're definitely the most aggressive of all warbands. They're also the youngest and they don't like hearing that, but yeah, they will punch you in the face if you mess with them. They are known for not all sticking together for the most time. They often split into smaller groups. And the way we played it, each of us had a battle station assigned. So my character was responsible for intel, and then we had someone for close range combat and someone for I don't even know what. We had a lot of battle stations. So everyone kind of knew what they were doing, and we were kind of like a special ops kind of thing. But yeah, we were definitely aggressive. The Skulls have allies, known as the Seventh. The Seventh warband has the words loyalty, determination, and discipline. They are the most loyal to each other, to the point of it being ridiculous. No matter the odds, they will protect each other. During our game, they kind of started messing with all the other warbands and broke our alliance and kind of went a bit cray-cray. But I guess they were loyal to each other, so that's all that counts for them. Our most hated enemies are the Ravens, also known as Solaris. Their words are diplomacy and cunning, and they are also very aggressive, but in a more of a manipulative way. They are kind of the tricksters. They don't really draw their sword at the first chance they get, but they definitely can be really intimidating and scary. Then there is the Trinovantes, or the Riders. Their words are nobility and courage. And they kind of have the most morals of all the warbands. They're kind of the nicest, the most neutral ones. They don't really like fighting. Maybe they are a bit like the Hufflepuffs, but don't tell them that. But also they are still very, very far from actually being like Hufflepuffs at all. And the last one are the Bulls, or Legio Ex Gemini. Gemina, I don't know if anyone knows how to pronounce that. The Bulls. They stand for competence and intelligence. They are also less aggressive, but very competent, clearly, because their words are competence and intelligence. And they started a war with the Sagovacs on the first night. So they also did not like us. Surprise. Some students, however, do not become part of a warband. They decide to stay there as independents. While the independents are missing the support of their warband and therefore are in a more dangerous position, they also get access to something called the Sacred Grove, where there is like a magical book that can tell them secrets, and they can hang out there, and it's kind of their safe space. And I never went, and it looked really cool from the outside. There were fairy lights. Yeah. Also, independents are needed for trading because warbands are not allowed to trade directly with one another. They always need to go through an independent. Besides being initiated into a warband or deciding to stay independent, new students are also pathed on a path, which is basically their course of study. There were 5 paths at Avalon. The first one being mine, again, the best of them all, to us. It's the sinister path of the storm, representing the element of air. It's basically full of tricksters and manipulators. Our secret class was dreams and shadows, which meant we could deal with demons and fae, and also enter the dream realm and mess with people's heads, and it's really fun. And also we were the only ones who could do divination without paying for it, which was really cool. And the whole divination dynamic was awesome, and I might make another video about it, but divination rocked at Avalon. It was so cool. Then there's Tyrannis, the path of the burning wheel, representing the element of fire. They are the fighters and warriors, and they focus on magical and physical combat. Then there's Morgana, the seaborne path, representing the element of water. It is also the path of Morganfay. And they mainly focus on enchantments and doing stuff with that. They are also known for manipulating feelings and memories. So kind of coming for our brand there, Morgana. I have a Morgana sitting right there. The fourth part is Sylvestris, the forest path. Obviously representing the element of earth. They are kind of known as the healers, or also as the hippie tree huggers, because they have a lot of poets and philosophers. It's not like we ever made fun of that. Of course, we would never. They also have the only written subject on Avalon, runic magic. And then there is Willard, wild path of the spirit. No one knows what the fuck Willard even is. It's a secret what they do during Willard class. They couldn't even tell us off game. We're all very mad about it because we really want to know. We made jokes about it being a baking class, but I'm scared they're gonna come for me and kill me if I say that too loud. It is also the path of Merlin. They don't take a lot of students. Like at the beginning of this game there were only 2 Willards, and then they pathed another 3 during the game. Yeah, all I really know about Willard is that it fucks the people up that are part of this path. I don't know what happens there, but they all seem to go crazy. And very, very scary. So that was all the paths and the warbands, which kind of make up your characters and are a huge part of their identity. And then once the game starts, well, you get dragged into all of their shenanigans. But besides warband wars and classes like megalithics, divination, warfare, poetry, all the classes, there's also the run. And the run is a yearly competition and no one ever fucking knows what's gonna happen during the run, because it changes every year. Sometimes it's warbands against warbands, sometimes it's paths against paths, and sometimes it's everyone for themselves, which is very scary. But this year it was the warbands against the other warbands. We had to get our banners back from the fairy hill, which already sounds not so nice if you know anything about fairies, but there were also trolls, Fomorians, ghosts, curses, and horrible things happened during the run. Very horrible things. But now a bit about the general feel of this lab. Most of the characters were ruthless, if not cruel. The teachers cared for their students' survival and learning, not so much for their well-being. There was a lot of fighting and a lot of blood, like a lot of blood, and even multiple character deaths, like this girl here, right here. Yeah, I died too. And like we even straight up killed a very cute sprite during divination class so we could read its entrails. And they had real entrails. I poked into a real animal hard with my wand. Fun. I also got tortured in the forest for like half an hour and screamed my lungs out, so that was fun. In general, it was very intense. There was a lot of very heavy roleplay, but also lighter moments, like having coffee on the balcony with my 2 favorite teachers and discussing who of them is more fucked up. And if being a chronomancer is kind of like being an addict if you can't stop. Or moments like chilling on the field waiting for warfare to start and, you know, hope that you won't get yourself killed. And just, you know, doing some light divination before that. Fun things like that. Very light and happy moments. In the sea of pure darkness and pain. That was Avalon. It was definitely a place to experience all sorts of emotions. Like fear and hope, hatred but also love, strength and weakness, loyalty and betrayal, working together and fighting each other to the death. There were tears but also a lot of laughter. For me personally, it wasn't the most fun I've ever been to. It was still so much fun though, like so much fun. It was so much fun. Just not the most fun, but so much fun. But it definitely was the most intense lab. and I wouldn't swap it for anything in the world ever. It was so good. I've been waiting to feel bleed since I started LARP, and this LARP has finally shown me what it feels like. And right when this video is done filming, I will film another one talking to you about how much it hurt. Because it hurt. Like, it hurt a lot. But yes, that's kind of the main gist of Avalon, to give you an idea what the game was about. I want to thank all the organisers, because they were amazing, and all the players, and just everyone involved who made this game one of the most important experiences in my life. It's been over a month since coming back from Avalon, and still every day I feel it. I just have to look at trees and be reminded of this game and I get sad. But it meant so much to me. And fuck. Yes. But at least now you know what the structure of Avalon kind of looked like. And I hope it was entertaining. So, thank you guys for watching, and maybe consider liking this video and subscribing to me and leaving a comment, and also go to all the links, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Ko-fi and my Patreon are all linked down below. Thank you guys for supporting me, thank you guys for being here with me, thank you for coming on adventures with me. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!